Good morning, Lufkin Central and Online Worship Community. Jason Hollinger, the preaching and community minister here. And in our time in Jesus and Coffee this morning, we are going to be in First John chapter 3. Now, First John chapter 3 has, and there is so much in this chapter. Many ways, very similar to the Gospel of John, chapter 3. Just a lot, man, just a lot there of just how we are to live and move and function as God's children, the way that we are to love, and the way that we are to, just reject and deflect the arrows, the attempts of the evil one to throw us off our mission. All these things, verse 7, dear children, do not let anyone lead you the wrong way. Christ is righteous. So to be like Christ, a person must do what is right. The devil has been sinning since the beginning. It's so anyone who continues to sin, or anyone who sins, continues to belong, to the devil. The Son of God came for this purpose, to destroy the devil's work. So we're going to read a little bit more. We're going to pick up actually in verse 9, issue our challenge, and send you on your way for the day. Hear the word of the Lord. 1 John chapter 3, beginning in verse 9. Those who are God's children do not continue sinning, because the new life from God remains in them. They are not able to go on sinning, because they have become children of God. So we can see who God's children are and who the devil's children are. Those who do not do what is right are not God's children. And those who do not love their brothers and sisters are not God's children. Even think back to, teacher, what is the greatest commands? Love God with everything you have, and love your neighbor as yourself. So he says, those who do not love their brothers and sisters are not God's children. To kind of further explain what this looks like, he goes on in verse 11. This is the teaching you have heard from the beginning. We must love each other. Do not be like Cain, who belonged to the evil one and killed his brother. You can read about that in the book of Genesis. And why did he kill him? Well, here's the answer. Because the things Cain did were evil, and the things his brother did were good. Brothers and sisters, do not be surprised when the people of the world hate you. We know we have left death and have come into life because we love each other. Whoever does not love is still dead. Everyone who hates a brother or sister is a murderer, and you know that no murderers have eternal life in them. This is how we know what real love is. Jesus gave his life for us, so we should give our lives for our brothers and sisters. Suppose someone has enough to live and sees a brother or sister in need but does not help. Then God's love is not living in that person. My children, we should love people, here it is, not only with words and talk, but by our actions and true caring. Oh, it sounds so nice. Got to read it twice, right? My children, we should love people not only with words and talk, but with actions and true caring. This is the way that we know we belong to the way of truth. When our hearts make us feel guilty, we can still have peace before God. God is greater than our hearts, and he knows everything. My dear friends, if our hearts do not make us feel guilty, we can come without fear into God's presence, and God gives us what we ask for because we obey God's command and do what pleases him. This is what God commands. And here's your challenge today: that we believe in his Son, Jesus Christ, and that we love each other just as he commanded. Why? Because the people who obey God's commands live in God and God lives in them. We know that God lives in us because of the Spirit God gave us. Man, this is what God commands of us, that we believe in His Son, Jesus Christ, and that we love each other just as He has commanded us. My challenge to you today is to find a way to live this out, not just have it in your talk, but put it into action. Put into action what it looks like for someone to believe in the Son, to believe in Jesus Christ. Put into action what it looks like for those who love each other and who live as those who have been commanded to love God with everything they have and love their neighbor as themselves. Put into action these things. Greater love has no man than this, that he would lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. Scriptural. It's what God calls us to. Is it easy? No, it's not always easy. But is it something that we should aspire to? Is it something that we should look to develop in our walk and our talk? You bet. And when it continues to happen, when it continues to become a part of who we are, it just becomes natural, then we begin to see the difference that we can make, the difference we are making. Can't wait to see and can't wait to hear how it goes in your life. Y'all have a great day. God bless.